The first idiom we have is any port in a storm. The first is any port in a storm. Any port in a storm. P-O-R-T. So what is the meaning of port? P-O-R-T. Port is a place where the ships are stopped, where the passengers are stopped, they get down with their goods. That's the meaning of port. The origin of this phrase or the idiom, any port in a storm, it means it comes from sailing. The origin of this phrase is from sailing. So imagine the sailor is in a dangerous position. So he has to stop immediately. If he is in a dangerous storm, he has to stop his journey immediately. And if there is a port, if he sees the first port, he has to get down there for shelter. Even if the quality of that port is not good, still he has to get down there because survival is more important. So during the time of crisis, a person should not look for the quality. Instead, he should seek the survival. That's how this phrase comes into origin. So the meaning of this phrase is any port in a storm. It means if you are in a difficult situation, if you are in a desperate situation, you must accept any solution, any help or refuge that comes your way. You must accept it. Having something is better than nothing. Having some or little help or refuge is better than having nothing. When you are in a desperate situation or when you are in a crisis, you should not wait for the quality. You should not wait for the perfect solution. That's the meaning of this phrase. Any port in a storm. So the sentence is, you can say this way, he hates his job, but it's any port in a storm. Although he hates his job, he has no other option than to work in it because that's about his survival. Even if the quality of the job is not good, even if he has to face hardships, he has to continue in that job. So the second idiom is to the gunwale. Now, second idiom is to the gunwale. Now, when you write gunwale, you spell it as G-U-N-W-A-L-E, but you pronounce it as gunwale. It's not gunwale, it's gunwale. To the gunwale is the second phrase that we have. Now, the origin of this phrase, gunwale, is the upper part of the boat or the ship. G-U-N-W-A-L-E. It is the upper part of the boat upper edge of the boat or ship, that's called as gunwale. Gunwale. Now, what is the meaning of this phrase is, gunwale means the upper part. So the idiom is, the meaning of the idiom phrase is filled up to the topmost part. Something is filled very much. Something is full up to the edge, up to the top part. That is the meaning of this phrase. Gunwale is a boat terminology. It's a term related to the ship and boat, gunwale. The meaning of this phrase is filled up to the top. So you can say, for instance, if you want to speak using this idiom, you can say, she went to the market, her grocery was stuffed to the gunwale. Her grocery was loaded up to the gunwale. The house was packed to the gunwale with equipments. The car was stuffed to the gunwale with equipments. To the gunwale means filled up to the topmost part. The third phrase that we have is breathe fire. The third phrase is breathe fire. To breathe fire. The third idiom is to breathe fire. Now the origin of this idiom is in the ancient mythological stories. You might have come across ghosts and monsters and dragons inhaling fire, exhaling fire. Monsters and dragons who emit fire. So that's the origin of this phrase, to breathe fire. The meaning of this idiom is very much angry, intensely angry. So we might have read in storybooks, or we have seen in movies also, whenever a dragon or a monster is angry, it will emit fire. So that's how this idiom comes into origin. Breathe fire means a very much angry, furious, rage. He was breathing fire. The boss was breathing fire when the project was not submitted on time. Okay, coming on to the fourth idiom, and that is pack a punch. Okay, the fourth idiom is pack a punch. Pack a punch. Pack a punch is the fourth idiom. So the origin of this phrase comes from boxing. Boxers are the people who deliver very strong and powerful punches. So the origin of this phrase or idiom comes from the sport of boxing. Pack a punch, the meaning is using a lot of force, using a lot of effort, great effect. It's not effort, it is effect, very strong, something very powerful, strong effect, lot of force. For example, you can use it to, it can be used metaphorically. Metaphorically means you can use it for a speech, you can relate it with a message, a speech, a song, or a food, a drink. For example, you can say his speech, it packed a punch, which means it was very strong. It was a powerful speech. It was very effective speech. The food packed a punch. The drink packed a punch. It means very strong and very effective. Okay. The fifth idiom we have is fifth, ply your trade. The fifth idiom we have is PLY, ply your trade. Ply your trade. Ply your trade. Okay. The origin of this idiom, ply means work, occupation. Ply means work, occupation. Ply is a Latin word which means to fold or to bend something. So, mostly it is used or connected or related with tailors. Okay, tailor plying a needle. Tailor plying a needle. Plying means bending, folding. Ply also means work. So the meaning of this phrase is work sincerely in your job. Work sincerely in your business. It's about work, it's about job, it's about occupation. Working sincerely. Okay. For example, you can say fishermen ply their trade in boats. Fishermen ply their trade in boats. Now, the next phrase or the idiom is well heeled. Well heeled. Well heeled. HEELED. Well heeled is the next idiom. The origin of this idiom is, it has American origin also, it has European origin also. In Europe, aristocrats and noble people many years back, they wore red colored heels. Okay, red colored heels. So heel is a footwear. It's an elongated footwear. So during those days, the people who wore heels were considered to be very rich, elite, luxurious. The people who could afford heeled footwear or heeled sandal, heeled shoes were considered to be very rich, financially well off, very elite, aristocratic, noble. So that's how this idiom originated. The meaning is very rich, very wealthy, prosperous, luxury, very affluent. For example, you can see well-heeled customers visit her shop, which means very rich people only visit her shop. The next idiom, that is the seventh idiom we have is give somebody the run around. Give somebody the run around. Run around is one word. Give somebody the run around is the next idiom. Give somebody the run around is the next idiom. Okay. Now, the meaning of this idiom is making excuses. Okay, somebody is asking you something and you are just giving excuses. You are not giving a direct answer. You are not giving a direct reply. You avoid speaking directly. You are giving false hopes. You are giving false expectations. You are avoiding. You are evading. EVADING. You are running in circle, run in circle, which means you are not giving a direct solution, a direct reply, a direct answer. That is the meaning of this phrase. Give somebody the run around. Okay. For example, you can say, uh, whenever we go reach the airport, we can see that when we ask someone, they just give the run around. They don't give proper guidance. They don't give direct solution, direct replies. The airport staff gave them the run around, which means they did not give a proper guidance. Next is eighth idiom, eighth one, and that is paddle own canoe. Paddle own canoe. Paddle own canoe. CANOE. Okay. So paddle own canoe. Canoe, what is canoe? It's a boat. It's a means of transport. The origin of this idiom, it first came in States. It has an American origin. In the 19th century, it first appeared in the book called The Settlers in Canada, and one more magazine named as Monthly, Harper's Monthly. It was written by Harper. This idiom, paddle own canoe, it appeared for the first time in States in the 19th century in the books named as The Settlers in Canada and Harper's Monthly. Canoe is a boat. It's a transport, and it was mainly used in Native America by indigenous people, by the Native Americans. So the meaning of this phrase is to be independent, not depending on anyone, to be self-sufficient, to be independent, not seeking anyone's assistance, not wanting anyone's help or assistance. You are independent. You are doing things by yourself. That's the meaning of this phrase. This idiom was used in the Native American community, that is the indigenous people, because they wanted people to do things on their own. Paddle your own canoe. She is a great person. She paddles her own canoe. Canoe. Now, the next phrase we have is behind somebody's back. Behind somebody's back, or behind someone's back. Behind someone's back. Now, the origin of this phrase comes from the action of gossip. People, they love to gossip, they love to chit-chat about others. That's how this phrase originated, from that particular action. Okay, so the meaning is to do something. Gossip is not done in the midst of a loud gathering, in the midst of a crowd. Gossip is done something very privately or secretly. So that's the meaning of this idiom, in secret, to do in secret. Also dishonesty, also disloyalty, disloyal. He criticized her behind, he criticized that person behind her back. Behind her back, which means not to do something openly, doing something behind the back. Now, the next phrase we have is curry favor. CURRY, favor. Curry favor. Curry favor. This particular idiom, curry favor, has got French origin. It appears in 14th century French story, and the story is Les Romans de Fauvel. The name of that French story is Les Romans de Fauvel. Fauvel in that story is a very cunning horse. So this idiom has its origin from this particular French story. Curry favor means, the meaning is pleasing people insincerely, flattering, using flattery words, praising someone insincerely, in a dishonest way, because you want some advantage. Okay, bootlicking the boss, person in authority, bootlick. Obsequious, OBSE, obsequious, OBSEQUIOUS. Obsequious means to flatter people in an insincere, disloyal, dishonest way. That's the meaning of this phrase, curry favor. You can say the employee or the staff curried favor with boss by praising the project. Stay tuned for more amazing idioms.